I've been walking around in a kind of daze for 2 weeks. And everywhere I go, planes, trains, restaurants, meetings, I find myself scribbling something down. What?
You never mentioned his health.
So I've had this idea for a while. What if we had an RPG where the whole thing was procedurally generated? So it starts out with a geography. We can pop that out. So it's using Perlin noise to kind of create a height map. And then depending on the height map, it kind of, colors out the area. And then also anything with a certain amount, like if it's below a certain height, I'm going to call that sea level. Anything below that, it's water. And moisture is coming out of that. And it's flowing, like the moisture that comes out of the water flows westward in my world. And so you can see that we've got like certain biomes, but as you get closer to the mountain, you get a lot more precipitation. And so that biome becomes like a rainforest style biome. And this could be a little bit tweaked so that you get like more mountain stuff. But as you can see, you got a bunch of options, and I just kind of tweak the, depending on the height and the moisture, that's the biome that you're in. And that's basically it for context. Okay, so where to begin? This is the game. As you can see, the graphics haven't been procedurally generated yet. We got your main player, that's the red dot. You can move around WASD. And then the game will generate NPCs based on the biome that you're in. So right now we are in the biome of desert, and I asked it to generate me some desert NPCs. So it generated a trader, a camel, a breeder, a oasis. I removed the S from words because a lot of times it'll give me multiple things with like traders, and I'm like, no, I don't want traders, I just want trader. But it leads to funny situations like oasis and then guide. Also, I asked it for 3 words, and it gave me 6 words because GPT 3.5 isn't super smart yet. But anyways, so I can press the letter E on an NPC, and it'll tell me the name, and it then generates a quest. The quest is actually, I'll talk to while. So I click on it, and then I gotta wait a second because it's generating the quest. So here's the problem of lack of resources. He needs money. So that was generated also on the fly. I basically told an NPC or an AI. I was like, what problem would a trader have in a desert, and and then what item would solve it? And the AI is like, well, the NPC has the problem of needing money, and needing resources, and money would solve it. And so then the game generates a money item right here in the corner, and I have to grab it. And so I can press I to open up my inventory, and I just kind of gave myself a sandwich. But here's my money item, and money can also be procedure generated. So right now it's just a word, but if I click on it, then I gotta wait a second for it to become an item. It like gets imbued with itemness. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm giving the item to an AI, to 3.5 again, and I have like a base item class, and then I basically add like a attribute to it. I'm like, hey, what would money do if it was real, or if it was in this game? And so right now it's kind of making like a money method. And so now I can click on money, and then it created a method called spend money. Now there's like a 50-50 chance that this breaks the game. Let's see what happened. Yeah. Error activating money. Item has no attribute money. So let's look at this. So we can look at the money item class, and as you can see, it added this thing to it. It took my base class and it added a method to it, which was completely generated by the AI. Now, I gave it instructions on how to generate it, but it doesn't like to follow all of them. Like it took screen, which I told it. I didn't tell it to use that. So hopefully when GPT-4 comes out, it can, these items will actually do something useful. But yeah, the idea is that everything is procedurally generated. And and so are the guides. So like here's not only are the guides procedurally generated like the classes, but then I also give the classes behaviors. So for example, trader. So here's the base class, which I told it, and here's all the stuff that lets me interact with it. But then here I asked the AI like, what would a behavior that a trader would have? And the AI is like, oh, the NPC called trader would probably have a behavior called restock. And so it takes the time, and apparently it looks to see if we're at midnight or something like that, and then it creates 3 items, and then it says trader's inventory has been restocked. And and then I have a code that just kind of checks NPCs for methods, and then methods that aren't, mouse over, move, draw, it activates those methods every once in a while. And so that's the spam that you're seeing down here, is that all the NPCs on the map, they're all just kind of doing their own thing. Like the breeder is wandering, the trader's inventory hasn't been restocked yet. Someone wants to go on a treasure hunt. They all have their own behaviors that they're trying to do, and sometimes they move around. And so yeah, that's basically it for gameplay. You basically go over, you talk to them. They're like, hey, I need a thing. You grab the thing, and then you get close to them again, and your quest is complete. You basically hand it over automatically. And the thing is, that wouldn't be very endless. So when you get to the corner of the map, earlier how we saw like that screen of the whole world, and that world is kind of small just because I wanted to kind of crunch through the weather quickly. But when you move in this world, you actually move in the macro world. And so right now it's looking at what's the biome in the block next to you, and then it generates that world. So here we got I don't know what biome we're in, but it looks like we got a farmer and a blacksmith. Let's see what the blacksmith has. He's the problem of broken anvil. He needs new. All right, so it looks like the parser screwed up a little bit. Apparently a new is good enough. All right, look, we dropped the new. Let's talk to the farmer. Maybe he'll make a bit more sense. He's got a problem. Yeah, there you go. He's a problem infestation of his crops. He needs pesticide. So we'll grab over here, grab the pesticide. I wonder what the pesticide does. So I'm going to click on it, and now we got to wait a little bit. But yeah, endless RPG. You can just go on forever. There are AIs coming out that will generate 3D models, and so I'm hoping that once that comes out, it'll make it easier for me to just kind of pop in like a farmer. It'll just have it generate a farmer RPG. By the way, I am using the API for 3 and 3.5. Okay, so it finished. Pesticide. Apparently, I can spray pesticide. I'm not going to spray it because, yeah. And there you go. I just walked over to him, and then he took my item from me. And I don't have a pesticide anymore. And I was going to say is I am using the API, and it does cost money to send these prompts to the AI, but it's like less. Like I've probably spent less than a penny so far in this game. So yeah, and you just keep going on forever, and that's all I got.